Alright, it's recording.
It's recording.
Yeah. Do I want to keep this on?
Should we do I think the thumbnail should be, like a mystery guest or something like that,
Like silhouette you out or something?
Can you do that?
I could probably do that. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Do you want to check to see if I'm in the shot? Just to be safe.
You're in.
Okay,
You're
good.
clear.
I always look at the camera lens and I'm like, I don't think I'm in the shot, but I always am, so I don't know why I bother. New location. It's because I have a guest today. Introduce yourself.
I am Brian. I'm the mysterious Brian he keeps mentioning in every one of his videos.
Yeah, he's the guy I go to the flea market with. He got me into the hobby basically. So
Taught him everything he knows.
yeah, everything. So he approached me a few weeks ago asking if he could be on the January edition of This Month in Vinyl, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It ended up working out because I don't have as many records as I usually do, but I feel like I might have a lot to say about each of them. So I'm gonna try and keep it short. But you have some pretty cool records that you want to talk about, so
So how are we gonna do this? I go first, you go first?
yeah, you can go first. You're the guest after all.
Yeah, this is a bootleg. This is from the Ramones. This is Hollywood Palladium, October of '92. Ordered this back in November. Didn't come until January, so I'm including it.
Yeah, I've got a few like that too.
It's good. It's during the Mondo Bizarro tour. It's got a great set list. You got Psychotherapy on here, Blitzkrieg Bop. Remember Rock and Roll Radio, Censor Shit, Rockaway Beach, all the classics you'd ever want.
All the hits.
Yeah.
You want to show the inside and stuff?
Not much to show. It's not a cool color or anything. It's not colored.
Yeah, don't worry. I got the colors this month.
Of course you fucking do. It's black, bootleg label. That's really all there is to say.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, you said it was a bootleg, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you got it from the local store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to say it. I don't even remember if I've ever said
Told
it.
Stool Bookshop, Peterborough, New Hampshire. Thank you, Lowell, for watching.
Yes. Yeah, go check out that store. It's a bookstore / record store. They got some cool stuff there. That's cool. So my first one was actually I ordered it back in December, but it didn't show up until around the mid-January. But I'm gonna show it off first because it's probably it's one of the it's one of the less impressive ones. Not that it's not cool or anything, but it's the Over the Garden Wall soundtrack. Brian, you watched Over the Garden Wall, right? I made you watch it.
You made me, yeah. I don't remember it.
You don't remember it? It's something more me and Nate like. But yeah, it's just the soundtrack on vinyl, 2 LP. It's a really nice piece. It's got this gatefold. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, as always, but it's got the kids and the sort of mysterious villain kind of in a darker, more glossy black on the more matte black. It looks really cool. And again, I don't know how well it'll show up on the camera. And it's got problem with gatefolds. If you want to thumb through this, it's it's just a book with lyric sheet, and it has some liner notes and actually and sheet music to play some of the tracks, which is really cool. I ordered this back in January, and it just it took a while to show up, which I get because Mondo is probably backed up by orders and stuff. And you've gotten stuff from Mondo before, right?
A couple things.
Yeah, the Castlevania soundtrack and stuff. It's just on this these autumn colors. It's really this is a really good album to put on during the fall, not in the dead of winter.
It's colored.
It's colored, yeah. And it's not the last we'll see of colored. But I think it looks pretty nice. It looks cool when it's spinning too. It's just kind of a pain to put back. So why don't you go start showing off your next thing?
Well, it'll be 4 items.
4 items.
They're all from the same band. So everyone should know Motorhead.
Yeah, Motorhead.
I was telling Matthew on the way here, I've been listening to nothing but Motorhead for the past 3 weeks, rather. My second favorite metal band, one of my favorite bands in general.
They're cool.
This first one here is Iron Fists from 1982. It's the album after Ace of Spades. By Motorhead standards, it's okay, which means it's better than anything, say, Metallica ever recorded.
Already getting the takes.
Hot takes. And this is a Canadian pressing. This is on Mercury. See that? And there's
They did
see the War Pig logo right there.
They publish. They press. Didn't they press Rush? Rush Records.
Yes, they did.
Okay, I know that label sounded familiar.
And this is an amazing inner sleeve that comes with.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't have to show off the record, but like cool stuff like the inner sleeve or like liner notes and stuff. I think the people would like to see.
Of course, lyrics. But no, this has some great songs on it. Title track's awesome. I'm the Doctor, Sex and Outrage. Like I said, it's okay by Motorhead standards, but still good. Still enjoyable. Give it a listen. If your fans like Motorhead, I don't know. I think they should.
Give them a shot. They're one of the classics.
Next one. Just got it in the mail this morning, actually.
Excellent.
It's 1986's Orgasmatron.
Have you ever seen Orgasmo? The Matt Stone Trey Parker movie?
I haven't.
From the 90s. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember really liking it. But I was also 13, so of course I would like a movie called Orgasmo.
Well, this is Orgasmatron from 86.
It looks like it's some sort of train.
It is. That's the Orgasmatron.
I like Motorhead's album covers because they're all really funny. Just like stereotypical metal album covers, but they're really cool art.
I see people online tend to rag on this album, but it's personally one of my top 5 favorite Motorhead albums.
Ooh.
I feel like it's misunderstood more than anything.
You think maybe the title?
Kinda. Here's the thing. This was their attempt to be a bit more approachable to the mainstream.
Oh.
But here's the thing. It still sounds like Motorhead. It's still ripping and rocking. It's fucking Motorhead. It's Lemmy. It's everyone. They just added a shitload of reverb.
Oh. Was it one of the Death Cab for the newest Death Cab for Cutie album? There's a weird effect over Ben Gibbard's voice, and it's it's okay, but I would prefer a version that didn't have that.
Right. Well, basically, they slapped a ton of reverb on this, and they said that was an approachable album, even though it's called Orgasmatron.
Yeah.
There's the boys there. There were 4-piece of this movie. They had 2.
Yeah, who else is in the band besides Lemmy?
There's Filthy Animal, right there. The drummer, Phil
Keep
Taylor.
the change, you filthy animal.
Phil Campbell, drummer, or lead guitarist. Then short-lived rhythm guitarist Wurzel, right there. This is original US GWR label.
What year was this again?
1986.
1986.
They just come back from a 3-year album hiatus after their last one sold 0 copies.
0 copies? Is that a joke or?
Yeah, it was their worst selling.
It didn't sell good? Okay. I was maybe it didn't release or something. Could you imagine, folks, a 3-year hiatus before you hear a new album? Insane.
Lyrics.
And I noticed that you, when they the inner sleeves is partly a lyric thing, you usually just replace them with the paper sleeves. Why do you do that? Just to because it wears out over time?
Right, yeah.
Okay,
that's
I get
why you see
that.
on a lot of old albums, these will be split out.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it.
That makes sense.
It's a top 5 Motorhead album for me. Dead Forever is a classic. Nothing Up My Sleeve. Mean Machine, Dr. Rock, title track. It's fucking Motorhead. They never made a bad album. Check it These next two I also got this morning, or the last month. And they're still in the seal. I haven't unsealed them. This is their 2000 album, We Are Motorhead.
You think they would have had that title by that point? I think people knew who Motorhead was by 2000, but maybe people forgot. I don't know.
No, this is a great album. Lemmy actually, around this time, this was a bad personal time for him. He was going to have a diabetic coma around this time.
Is he type 1?
Type 2.
Type 2?
I mean, he still drank like a fucking fish, but... This is obviously a reissue. Originally pressed in 2000. Those are like $200. I'm not going for that.
Yeah, that was when like vinyl was dead as fuck.
There's great tracks on here. Their cover of God Save the Queen is awesome.
Was that originally by?
The Sex Pistols.
Sex Pistols, okay.
And their ballad, One More Fucking Time, the longest song they ever made, 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
I can respect that. I respect bands that have short run times for their songs.
And then the title track is the best song on the album. It's called We Are Motorhead, obviously.
It's the last track too, so really it ends with a bang.
It's a great track. Check it out.
Great fucking tracks.
And the last Motorhead album I got, 2004's Inferno. This is my favorite of their 2000s albums. This is a double LP. Another obvious reissue. Don't mind the noise.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's got some great songs. Terminal Show, In the Black, You're the Wolf, and the closing track is a straight up country blues song. Lemmy and acoustic guitar, Whorehouse Blues.
That doesn't sound that bad.
It's really good.
Oh.
You should check. Once again, check it out. It's Motorhead. Check that out.
What would you recommend people start with Motorhead?
Ace of Spades, masterpiece. Check it out.
Okay, you heard it here first. Start with Ace of Spades, and then maybe check out some of Brian's recommendations. That's all the Motorhead, right?
That's
alright.
Good.
Alright. So my next one, I ordered back in December or so also, and it showed up around maybe like the first week into January, and it's a bootleg. It's the Ultimate Doom soundtrack. So, to go with the metal theme. This was done by the guys who did the Donkey Kong Country 2 soundtrack that I showed off a few months ago. And I followed their Instagram page, so I had the pleasure of finding out about this before resellers got a hold of it and started gouging the fuck out of the price. So I paid maybe, I want to say $60 or so for this, including international shipping because they're based out of Greece. But it's a double LP. It comes with two LPs obviously, and it comes with some other things like a sticker for the LP, a little lithogram, like a little printout of the Doom guy, and there's something else in here. Yes, and it has on the back is it's just like the background for the loading of the level, and who made the music and stuff, and it's got this little almost like bookmark that shows you the track listing on each record. It's separated into the 4 episodes, which just makes sense. And there were a couple variants of this one. I got the the Baron of Hell yellow splatter thing. It looks really cool when you're spinning it again, on the turntable, because it's almost translucent in a way. But there was a red splatter one, blood obviously, and then there was a standard black, which was our friend Eric got actually, because I told him about this and he managed to pick it up. And we can listen to this later, because this sounds really fucking good. And it's 45 RPM too.
So it's just straight up the music from the game.
Yeah, it's straight up the MIDI tracks from the game.
Nice.
Not like remasters and stuff. That's pretty cool. I would recommend you pick it up, but like I said, these this. I've talked about this before. The video game vinyl bootleg community is they're really secretive, and and their stuff gets swooped up real fucking fast.
A lot of it's basically like what, fucking mail order or some shit.
Yeah, like these, they'll have like these Instagram pages
and like forums and like message boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they'll be like, all right, here's the page, and they have like a link to like their big cartel page or something, and it'll be up for like maybe a couple days, and then they'll just like nuke their entire account afterwards because they can't leave a paper trail. It's cool. So you should try, if you're like interested in like bootlegs and whatnot. I would check them. I would like, do some research and like try to find like the people who press them and like follow their accounts and stuff, and like keep your eyes peeled, especially on Kawadeka Records, because I've got the Donkey Kong Country one, and I've got the Doom one, and they're both excellent. They sound really good, so check them out.
Yeah.
Woo!
Alright, I only have 4 left to show, and these...
Do you want to do them all at once, or...?
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
These... Ooh, talk about grails.
Yeah, we got... I've got some grails coming up. I honestly, like, I think the Ultimate Doom one is pretty grail worthy in and of itself, but I got some other ones too.
Alrighty, so from my second favorite metal band to my number 1 favorite metal band, Black Sabbath. This is their 1987 item, or 1987 album.
We do.
Their 87 album, The Eternal Idol. This is the beginning of their most underrated period as a band.
I'm just checking the thing. Don't worry about it.
For me, this is their most underrated period, beginning with this. This is when Tony Martin stepped in on lead vocals, replacing Glenn Hughes from the Seventh Star album. Original on Warner Brothers. Their last album on Warner Brothers. I think 17-year run on the label. So. And just generic lyrics, the Black Sabbath logo there. Mini rant. When people debate who Black Sabbath is, they always say, is it Ozzy or Dio? It's neither of those. It's fucking Tony Iommi. He's been there since the beginning. He wrote all the songs. He's there every fucking album.
Yeah, I think people just get kind of caught in the weeds about, like, I mean, they're the lead singers, right? So like the front men, so they get all the credit, which is a shame, but it's just kind of how it goes a lot of the time.
So yeah, this is a good album. Not the best Tony Martin. We'll get to that next. This has some great songs. The opening track, The Shining, which is based off the book/movie.
Like recount the plot.
Kind of. Scarlet Pimpernel is a great song, and they're For Away. They're For Away. I can't fucking say it. Yeah.
Relax. Just fucking... It's fine if you flub words. I flub them all the time.
They dipped their toes into power metal a bit.
Power metal? What was power metal?
Think like a bunch of nerds playing D&D that make metal music.
Okay, that makes sense.
The song Glory Ride.
I don't know where the name power, the prefix power comes into that, but I can...
Like power, your mighty warriors on horses, swords.
I was going to say, is like any relation to power pop?
No.
Yeah.
And speaking of Tony Martin, my favorite Tony Martin album, Headless Cross, 89. It's the original U.S. pressing.
What's the front of that look like?
That.
Pretty...
That's the Headless Cross.
It's kind of spooky, actually.
That is the Headless Cross.
These are all good, like, Halloween albums.
Yeah, this is their first album with Cozy Powell on drums. If you don't know who that is, look it up. Their first album on IRS, which is what they would remain with for the rest of their careers.
The Internal Revenue Service.
Exactly.
That is what IRS stands for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do your taxes, everyone.
Yeah, it's tax season, people. No, this is just a fucking killer album. There's no filler on this. It's a top 5 Sabbath album for me.
Only got like 8 tracks, too, yeah.
Exactly. Short and small. It's like 37 minutes. Every song is great in here. My favorite's When Death Calls, which features a guitar solo from Brian May of Queen.
Oh, cool.
He and Tony Iommi are good friends. They go way back.
Neat.
I guess he was available this time. I'm gonna do a solo.
It was the late 80s. Like Queen was still pretty big at that point.
Yeah, but Freddie Mercury was dying.
He was dying.
So yeah, check it out. This is good stuff. This is my favorite, the Tony Martin era. The next one, the third from the Tony Martin era, Tear. From 1990 is an original.
Like Tear as in tears, or like Tear as in tier list? Oh, neither.
TYR.
TYR.
Tear as in the son of Odin.
Is this more power metal?
Yeah, it's another trickling.
Okay, yeah, it's more dabble. They dabbled into power metal yet again.
And this is their only attempt at a concept album, too. All themes based around Norse mythology.
Cool.
With songs such as Anno Mundi, The Lawmaker, Jerusalem, The Sabbath Stones, Odin's Court, Valhalla. It's just... there is one shitty track on here, honestly. Feels Good to Me. There's their fucking...
It sounds like a shitty song. Is it like a ballad or something?
It's a fucking ballad.
It's always the ballads.
And it was the single of this album.
That probably was the only, like... I mean, are you... I mean, I guess Sabbath fans would be cool with, like, a fucking concept album about Valhalla or whatever, but... You know, it's kind of hard to sell to... right?
Otherwise, a pretty good album. My favorite track is the opener, Anno Mundi. This album fucking rips. Yeah, check it out. Now,
The piece de resistance. The Grail.
Dehumanizer.
You guys better be pogging over Dehumanizer, because you told me all about this.
He was with me when I bought it at Applebee's.
Shut up! Don't tell them.
This cost some money.
Are you comfortable saying how much it cost? You don't have to say it. It's fine.
Yeah, I won't say it.
Yeah, just know it was some money.
This is an original on IRS once again.
What year did this come out?
92.
92. So this is 90 Sabbath. I bet you people didn't even know 90 Sabbath was a thing. I didn't.
My favorite album of the 90s from Black Sabbath.
This one's really cool. It's like, yeah, it's got he's got like a fucking computer hooked up to him.
That's the Computer God. The opening track, Computer God.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
What do you here? Let's show this a little closer. You get the back. Here's the band. Whoa.
This one's interesting. This is a return of the Mob Rules lineup with Ryan James Dio coming back for lead vocals for this one.
Cool.
Geezer Butler on bass, and then Vinny Appice on drums. So it's a reunion of that lineup. Yeah, just so excited when I saw this pop up on eBay. It was a great price.
Yeah.
I had to fucking get it.
Were you just checking by chance?
Yes.
Okay.
It was pretty fitting because they reissued this in 2019 from popular demand. So,
yeah, nice. That's cool.
Uh,
You're more into getting like original pressings and stuff, though, is the thing. So yeah, you probably would have gotten that anyway.
Yeah, great songs on here. Computer God, the opening track. Obviously, there he is again. Computer God.
Just like bask in it. That guy looks so fucking sick.
TV Crimes, Master of Insanity, Time Machine from Wayne's World. But my favorite track is the second track, After All the Dead. Just a doomy fucking song. Just sounds like you're in a goddamn cemetery.
Yeah.
By far their heaviest album they ever made. Highly recommended.
Heavy even for Black Sabbath, huh? Wow.
And that's all the interesting stuff I have to show. So it's your show now.
All right. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the metal show. That metal show, was it? You ever watched that on VH1 or was it Fuse?
It was VH1 Classic.
VH1 Classic, yeah. Okay. All right, so next one is probably, I'm not gonna say it's like not cool, because it is cool, but it's probably the least like impressive out of all the ones I have, because you can just find this in like stores. But this is Queens of the Stone Age's Lullabies to Paralyze, and it's I got this at Bull Moose earlier in the month. This one's kind of, I feel like this album's kind of underrated. It's the one that came out after Songs for the Deaf, which everyone obviously loves that album a fuck ton. But like, this was the follow-up. The album title is taken from one of the lines of the last track off Songs for the Deaf. And it's the first album that doesn't have what the fuck is his name? I know you don't know. Is Nick Oliveri. Nick Oliveri, yeah, the guy who does the screaming in the earlier Queens of the Stone Age albums. Because fun fact, he held his girlfriend hostage in a cabin and got arrested, nice. So they kicked him out of the band.
Boss move.
Nowadays, I think they're on good terms, but yeah, this is the Standard Black. It was a 2019 like repress because a lot of Queen's albums.
It's a little too modern for my taste. I don't know this.
This is like fucking like early 2000s. Actually, this was 05, I think. So
yeah,
well, whatever. But it was like Queen's recently repressed a ton of pretty much all of their albums late last year, which is how I got Songs for the Deaf on Vinyl Me Please.
I heard some of that at your house. I actually quite liked it.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's a really great album actually. But this one's also pretty good too. It's probably probably their spookiest album, like in tone. What the fuck is it getting stuck on? Oh, I see. It's getting stuck on the receipt.
Just throw the fuck out.
I like to keep my receipts. Just to look back. I don't know. But yeah. I like this album. Like I said, good album. I think some of my favorite songs off it are Little Sister is a good one. Burn the Witch. This Lullaby is a really good slow kind of quiet opener, and then it goes into Medication, which really kicks up the guitars and shit. I Never Came is good, and so is Long Slow Goodbye. Long Slow Goodbye is also kind of like this Lullaby, and it's a quieter, somber note to end the album on. Something interesting that I never realized is the vinyl version of this album has a couple extra songs, like Infinity, Like a Drug, and Precious and Grace. Those aren't on the Spotify version or anything, or maybe they're on the CD. I'm not sure, but one of them has Mark Lanigan singing vocals, which is always a treat. And I was kind of pissed that a Mark Lanigan song isn't on the digital versions or whatever, which I think it should, because who doesn't love Mark Lanigan? But yeah, cool release. If you've listened to Queens of the Stone Age and you've kind of written off Lullabies because people are like, it's not as good, I'd say listen to it, give it a shot. It's not as consistent as Songs for the Deaf, or even Rated R or Era Vulgaris, or like Clockwork. But I think it's a good release. And I'm gonna restart the recording because my camera has a 30-minute time limit on recording stuff, and we're at 28 minutes. So tune in a bit. And we're back. Next up, Grail alert! Everyone, go crazy! Grail alert! Wee. It's Jack's Mannequins, The Glass Passenger. Oh, what's that? You don't know. Jack's Mannequin is Andrew McMahon's band from the mid to late 2000s after Something Corporate broke up. They're piano rock basically, so you wouldn't like them. But Everything in Transit came out in 2005, and it's this really fun almost concept album about California and trying to get just living in LA and stuff like that. It's a really, really great album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. And pretty much as soon as he started touring for the album, he got Andrew McMahon got diagnosed with leukemia, and the road so he had to cancel all the shows, and the road to recovery for him began, and thankfully he got put in remission. And this is this album is sort of the result of that. It's about it's got a lot a more somber tone, more introspective than like the fun party sort of vibe of the first album, and it ends incredibly strongly with like orphans into caves. It's a really beautiful song, and I got this off of Discogs for like $80 or so, because I don't know what it is about Andrew McMahon records, but they command high prices. I think that's because like partly because of the cancer stuff. His fans are really loyal and they care about him a lot. So I'm sure that's probably one of the reasons why it's so expensive.
Also, all his albums came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, that's true. But they've also like there's only been a couple like represses of this album. Actually, there's only been one, and it was back in like 2018, 19, I think, on Music on Vinyl. And I thought about getting it, but there was like this, but apparently it was like kind of an almost unofficial release because like Andrew McMahon like didn't approve it at all or anything. So like it was just a label going over his head. So I didn't feel right getting it. So and I mean technically he wasn't getting any money from this either because it was a used. It was like a secondhand copy, but I don't know. I just felt better that way. It also has, in addition to being like a 2 LP, it also has like a cover, just the album cover, and he signed it. I don't know if he did that for like all the copies or something. I didn't see anything about that on Discogs, but I thought that was kind of cool. And this copy was in like near mint condition, and $80 was like a pretty good price for it. So I kind of swooped it up real quick. It also comes with a CD, although I don't know. Is that still in here?
What's a CD?
A compact disc. You put it's a format. It's like small. Hey, be careful. I paid good money for that CD. Partly. Get that fucking out of my hands. Yeah, it's just like it's just the album. Doesn't really have anything special to it. It's just like a paper case.
Looks like what my elementary school would keep like the CD-ROM games in, the paper fucking sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can find it in like a jewel case or whatever somewhere online.
It's like Jazz Jackrabbit or some shit.
Jazz Jack's Mannequin Rabbit.
Sure.
But yeah, this one was really cool. I was really happy to get it. I already have everything in transit. If you, I think I showed it off in my favorite records video, and I'm really happy to have this one too. I just want to say I really like the album cover. This is kind of it's kind of like really fits the mood of the album. Just kind of like he's sitting alone in his like studio, kind of prodding at the piano. It's really nice. I could talk about that fucking Jack's Mannequin all goddamn day, so I'm gonna stop. Next album, I got this one off the r/vinyl collector subreddit. I don't know if you've ever been on there, but you should probably check it out because
I've perused.
Yeah, I mean most of the time it's usually people like selling or asking for like Frank Ocean's Endless. There's so many people.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, it's a really popular one, and thankfully I don't listen to Frank Ocean because it's fucking expensive. It's like $300.
Yeah,
it's like insane. But I saw this and decided to splurge on it because I hadn't. I think it was like also maybe like $70-$80, and I think it was like 60. But I'd never heard of this album, and it's a live performance of Death Cab for Cutie and the Magic Orchestra from 2012. It was a Record Store Day 2014 release. That's the only time this ever came out. I had never heard of this until that post, and I looked it up, and I decided to just give it a chance, see if if I liked it or not. I had no the name like Magic Orchestra. It made me think it was like some sort of like electronic thing. So I was like kind of what I was prepared for, but no, it's like a legit orchestra, like with like the fucking violins and everything, and it really complements. Here it's like a little thing of people like hands kind of holding. It really complements the sound of Death Cab for Cutie, I think, really well. And I found myself really enjoying this record. It's just, standard black. And this was recorded in like 2012 or so. So it's got some songs from their newest album at the time, which I'm not a huge fan of, Codes and Keys. But they kind of varied up their set list a lot. They played some stuff from their first album, their second and third. Pretty much, I think they played something from all of their albums up to that point, which is pretty cool. I would really like it if they did something like this again, because I think this is a really cool idea. I'm sure it was probably a nightmare to like organize, which is why they haven't done it since. But I would like to see like basically another set list like this one. So I'm happy I got this. I took a chance on it, and it ended up paying off. Oh, I'm talking nonstop for like 15-20 minutes at this point. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But all right. I have one more album, or is it one more? I ordered this back in October, and I had trouble actually getting it because the website I ordered it off of, my billing address wasn't the same as my shipping address because I moved and I still haven't gotten around to changing that shit. I really should get on that because they emailed me saying that they had my order put on hold because they needed like further confirmation I lived where I lived. So I had to like call them and explain what the situation was, and they had me send in like mail that confirmed my address. So it was a real headache to like get this thing, and I really wanted it because it was sold out everywhere at the time, and I paid a pretty penny for it. And it's the hold your applause. It's the Utamonogatari box set.
I don't know what that is.
It's all of the opening and ending themes to the Monogatari series anime.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, so I paid it's a 5 LP box set, and I paid 5 fucking records. 5. Count them 5. It's got a little obi strip because the Japanese love their obi strips.
You know, up until a few months ago, I always said OBI.
Yeah.
I found out it's Obi.
Obi Trice. Real name, no gimmicks, right? Yeah. Anyway, I got this from Right Stuff Anime.
And that fucking sucks. Continue.
Yeah, anime shit, we all know that. But the openings and endings to this anime in particular are really cool because they have different ones for like every like couple episodes of the show instead of just like one static theme, and they have like the subject, like the main character of each arc kind of sing the opening, which is really cool. And it's 5 LPs, all the openings. You got your anime girls on here. Just show them all off. I'm not gonna take all of the. I'll take one of them out because I'm not gonna do it for all of them because it's a pain in the ass. Because the Japanese, they love these inserts so much. My Pillows LP has it, and so does my Maria Takeuchi. I don't know why, because it's such a pain in the ass to put back in when there's no record, and they're just like it's just like flimsy plastic. I don't like it. But yeah, it's a standard black. It sounded. I haven't listened to all of it. I've only listened to I believe the first 2 LPs, but it sounds really good, and I'm happy that it does because this wasn't cheap. I think you can find I think they're doing a second run of this, so if you want to get this, you can find this on Right Stuff right now and just order it. You know, it's just liner notes. It's kind of easy paper, but the art on it is good at least. So yeah, I ordered this way back in October, so I've been waiting a while for this one, and I'm happy to finally have it. It's got disc 2, disc 3, disc 4, and disc 5. And here, you can like feel this. This is like really like hefty stuff. Yeah, it's high quality. It's not just the. I was kind of worried that maybe it wasn't going to be the best quality. I don't know why for any particular reason. It's not like I'm just, I'm always worried when I pay like exorbitant prices for things. I think this is worth it though because it is 5 LP and it's in such like it's such like a hefty box and like good like inner sleeves and stuff. One problem I would say is that when you pull, like the way these things are formatted, you don't take them from the top, you take them from the side, right? So when you pull them out, sometimes the record won't come with it. So that's a minor issue I have, but it's something worth pointing out nonetheless. Just put that in. And yeah. Also, for some reason, the obi strip is on the right side and not the left. It's like a manga. You read it from right to left. I don't get it. But yeah, it's really cool. This is probably one of my favorites that I've gotten in a long time, just because it's. I just remember being like, it would really be cool if I had these on vinyl, and they just weren't, and my wish was granted.
Nice.
So that's cool. Yeah. And that's everything.
I'm gonna say that looks expensive.
It was expensive. I didn't pay as much as I could have because like if I had just like bought this straight from like Japan, the import prices would have been insane. But I think it says on the back here it has like a low price, it's 12,000 yen or so. So it's like 120, 130 bucks. That's about how much I paid for it. And I think that's gonna do it. I think that's everything. Mm-hmm. There was one record that I actually got last night, but I didn't wanna bring it because I feel like it would have overshadowed. It would have been like sensory overload or like too much stuff in one month. Because I got a lot of really cool stuff this month, and I think you guys are gonna like. At the very least, there's gonna be at least one cool thing next month, if nothing else. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Brian, for showing off your cool shit and letting me use this space to record. It's got the turntable and everything. It's a good vibe. Beats the shit out of the computer in my room. Although you don't have any funny posters in the background.
Not yet.
Yeah, you gotta get some tour posters or something.
I just barely moved my records into this room.
Yeah. Also, something I guess I could mention is that like I feel the need to keep this, but I would like a better like outer sleeve for this, just to keep the obi strip in place. It's just kind of a flimsy.
Also, I've noticed a lot of Japanese LPs use these kind of sleeves.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I don't know why. I guess it's just kind of like the thing over there. Mm-hmm. All right. Once again, thank you guys, and I'll see you all next month.